Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to play today some Pokemon TCG Live because Pokemon Pocket was released in New Zealand and I am going to wait until it comes in full release at the end of the month. But until then, I wanted to get back into playing the TCG Live and see what I like and what I dislike and how that changes my perception of the new game. So the deck that we are playing at the moment, it's not 100% solidified, but it is a deck that focuses on the Iron Valiant card and the ability Tachyon Bits, so that once per turn we can swap them from the bench into the active zone to put 20 damage onto something. And then later on, they have a strong ability with Laser Blade that gets boosted by the future booster capsule to 220 damage, which is oftentimes excluding an evolution based EX like Charizard or Alakazam, or there was somebody recently that was playing Gengar. Most non evolution based EXs we can take out with a buffed Laser Blade plus a couple switches. We run a 2-2-2 Abra Kadabra Alakazam line. The Abra that we've chosen is the Teleporter. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may shuffle it and all attached cards into your deck. This is really good because when you activate this, it's essentially a free retreat without having to use your retreat for turn, which means we can shuffle it in while it's in the active spot and then put an Iron Valiant up, which counts as moving it from the bench into the active zone. The Kadabra, in case the Abra does get stuck there for whatever reason, or we have the Kadabra and we know the Abra will survive, we have a Kadabra that has a 1 energy teleportation attack, deals 30 damage, and switches. So at the end we can switch into our Iron Valiant. And then the final one is Alakazam EX. One, it has 310. 310 is really hard for most Pokemon to get over. And then it has primarily the dimensional hand attack. Since most of our deck is focused on just switching back and forth over and over again, we have dimensional hand so that regardless of who ends up in the active zone, we can use at least an attack from anywhere, because this can attack from the bench. But then, especially with the modern like stellar cards, he has Mind Jack, which does 90, which is already really close, but it does 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. With some of these stellar decks, they'll get up to 8 bench Pokemon, so dealing 240 additional damage it's pretty crazy, because that brings us up to 330. Now, oftentimes it is not 330. I've gotten this to 270 pretty consistently against that deck. But we don't really use this unless we have a free switch out, 2 energies on Alakazam, and we need something that deals more than 220. Or we don't have enough energy for the Iron Valiant's Laser Blade. Then we run Radiant Alakazam. It's also Psychic. We pretty much never use Mind Ruler. We primarily have this here for Painful Spoons, which allows us to move 2 damage counters from one of our opponent's Pokemon to another other Pokemon. It's important that it says up to 2 damage counters. Oftentimes, there will be like a 30 health basic on board, and if we have 2 damage counters on something else, we want to move 1 from them onto the 30 health, so that when we switch, we just deal 20 to it and take it out from the back. It can also be really helpful if they have an evolution and they choose to evolve a Pokemon that we've damaged slightly. We can take some of that damage and put it on something else That'll be closer to giving us a prize card. Then we run a 1/1 of Yamask and Cofagrigus EX. Cofagrigus EX specifically because of Hollow Hands. It's 110 to the person up front, and then 5 counters on your opponent's bench in any way you like. 50 damage spread about in this deck can deal quite a bit. And then if it's knocked out by damage from an attack, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand and shuffle. That lets us like refill our hand with an important supporter of some kind if we need to. I have really not gotten a good chance to use this, but I would like to. Big hitter in this is Hisuian Zoroark V with the Void Return ability, a free 30 damage attack that switches it out with a bench. Very, very good. Shadow Cyclone is good because it is a normal mon, which in the current meta is important, and it has the ability to, if we do have to put 3 energies onto this, that's a huge tempo loss for our laser blade attacks, but we use Shadow Cyclone and then we can start moving that energy onto one of our bench Pokemon. We run 1 copy of Hisuian Zoroark V-Star. Tickling Curse sometimes comes in if we're up against a mirror match of some kind, or a damage spread effect deck. Like there's a Snow Runt deck right now that deals a bunch of damage to anything with an ability. Tickling Curse can take out something pretty quickly, but it doesn't come up very often. It's primarily here for the Phantom Star and the fact that like we do want the Hisuian Zoroark V, so having access to the V-Star with the Phantom Star ability of just getting a new hand. Sometimes you can Professor's Research, use all your switch effects, and then Phantom Star, get a new hand after that, and still do a lot more with your turn, which is pretty fun. We run 1 copy of Buddy Buddy Poffin. I used to just have this as, I believe, a nest ball, but I think, I run 4 nest ball in one of these, yes. We run Prime Catcher as our special card. I'm forgetting what these are called. A-Spec, yeah. So that we can boss up one of their Pokemon, and then we can also switch one of our own. Very powerful effect, super swingy. We can oftentimes boss up something that has a high retreat cost and then switch in our own stuff to start pinging the back row, or we can boss up something that dies to Laser Blade and hit it there. 4 copies of Switch, 4 copies of Switch Cart. Switch Cart is great because Iron Valiant is a basic. Hisuian Zoroark V is also basic. Pretty sweet. 4 copies of Arven. Arven is in here primarily to either find us Prime Catcher, Switch, or Nest Ball immediately, and then get us our 4 copies of Future Booster Energy Capsule. Now, the one place that I was considering changing was this copy of Jack and this copy of Professor Turo's Scenario. I have run into them often, and most of the time I just want to either play Arven or Professor's Research or Iono, and in a very rare case I would like to play Tulip just to get a bunch of energy back if we lose it. So I think I'll actually make that change right now. We'll edit this. No. What's going on? Oh, okay. Go to trainers. We want to take this out, and we want to take this out. What we really want are do this in order. I feel like we want a Great Ball, maybe. I really would like something that just attaches energy. The best one is Mirage Gate, but we have no way of activating it. We used to run 2 copies of Gape Jaw Bog as a way of, you know, dealing a little bit more damage to things. I may run 1 copy of it just because some decks right now are running Area 0 Underdepths, and some of them are also running the Ace Spec Stadium. But we want an item card because we want something that works quickly. Let's do not owned so that we can see what we're actually missing. Now, boxed order. Search your deck for 2 item cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Oh, your turn ends. Never mind. Never mind. Energy Lotto. Look at the top 7. Reveal an energy. Put it into your hand. Not really amazing. What is Reboot Pod? Whoa, Reboot Pod. I did not know that that existed. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of your future Pokemon? That is really good. That's really good. I'm like heavily considering it. You can only use this card if you go second and only during your first turn. That is not worth including in a deck. There's a lot of new art on these. What is this? Ooh. Yeah, some people run Grand Tree, which lets people search for stage 2s and then, or stage 1s and then stage 2s for an automatic full evolution in a turn. It's pretty strong. Reboot Pod just looks so good for this deck. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. I do think there's a world where we also just run a Pokemon that draws us cards. Let's do, yeah, not owned. Or maybe all. Industrious Incisors is always an option, but I don't like that I would have to run 2 of them. There's one new card, this. Pheasantipity. Flip the script. Once per turn during your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3. And then Cruel Arrow is actually an attack that we can use. 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. It's weird, but we could use one. So I don't need to exchange. I have one. What's going on? What? Why is it in this? Oh, okay. That works very differently on I don't play on PC often. With this game specifically. Okay. Wonderful. We run 4 copies of Jet Energy to get a free switch. 10 energy. We may want more, especially with more draw. You know, I may take out here. I'm going to take out this and this, because we really only care about the switching effects. And then energy. We have double turbo, which double turbo lets us use Tickling Curse with just one. It lets us use Cruel Arrow pretty easily. It lets us use Mind Jack really easily. It does not help us with Laser Blade, though, is the problem. It hurts us with Laser Blade. Reversal. I have also been trying to consider taking out the Yamask and Cophagrigus. I think I will. Doing some live editing, because we really just want the Iron Valiants, and we want them on turn 1. Which would tell me that, like, do I not want Ditto? I feel like I'd like to have Ditto. Because Ditto is essentially just another Iron Valiant, or Zoroark V, if we need it. There's also Ursaluna EX, which is a normal Pokemon, which does matter. Stick that in here. And then if we have Ursaluna EX and yeah, I think there's room for 1 double turbo. And another. Luminous Energy is just a little tough. Double Turbo, I feel like, works enough with this and with Blood Moon. With Blood Moon, it kind of just turns Double Turbo in, like, it makes this attack a Laser Blade, but a Laser Blade that we can do when our opponent has collected 3 prize cards. So let's try it out and go home. This deck struggles a lot with facing Charizard specifically, and it works pretty well against almost every other deck that I've faced. Most decks in the meta currently rely a lot on basics, like having evolution lines, and if the meta shifts, we take out the Zoroark and we add in the Arceus. Also, with the new changes, we do want to go first because it's kind of a gamble, but we're able to sometimes just win on turn 1, depending on whether or not they only have 1 basic in hand. It also lets us attach energy faster, and we have 3 energy, so if we go 1 and they go 1, they can't do much. 2, And then 2, they might be able to do something, but then 3, we get to respond. Okay, so we cannot get a turn 1 kill. Or a turn 1 win this time, but that is fine. But Zoroark up there, this one down here. This is a pretty rough start, I will say. I genuinely might be using Mind Ruler in this fight, depending on our draw. Now, they have a stellar background right now, which is telling me that this might be the stellar deck, just with the dark sleeves. Not everybody themes their sleeves. Ooh, I have not seen this deck. That's a double turbo. Double turbo is actually pretty good here. Because we can place this on here. What does this do? If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, and if you have any Pekarant EX in play, your opponent takes 1 fewer prize cards. Pekarant, once during your turn, you may switch one of your bench dark Pokemon, except any Pekarant EX with your active Pokemon. If you do, the new active is now poisoned. Can't use more than 1 subjugating chains each turn. Okay. That's fine. We'll just end. Next turn we can Shadow Cyclone and then stick the Psychic Energy onto Radiant Alakazam. They're also running Roaring Moon and Mew. Huh. Irritated Outburst. I see, I see. Now, this is my first qualm with Pokemon in general. Monkey Dory EX, if it's knocked out by damage, it doesn't say if you, like if it just said if you have a dark EX, this takes 1, like your opponent takes 1 fewer prize cards or something, I would appreciate it more than it saying if you have a Pekarant EX, because it requires that if you run this card, you have to run this card to get this ability. Otherwise, like you don't care about Dirty Headbutt at all. Whatever he's doing right now, very scary. I do not like that there is a Roaring Moon EX all the way back there. The fun thing about Roaring Moon EX in this fight usually is that we can switch out twice, put 40 damage on that thing, and then can't really do anything. Guess I'll discard the top 3. Oh, there's nothing there. Nothing at all. So in this case, I'm going to Shadow Cyclone. Oh, I messed up so badly. Wow. That's horrible. Yeah, we'll just Void Return here, I guess. I messed up so bad. We're not going to swap at all. Yeah, we might just have to play this to get the draw next turn. He seems pretty far ahead at the moment. Also a huge misplay on my end. He could switch for free with a switch effect. No, he just passes and does nothing. Very, very interesting. Huh. Let me... I'm gonna use Pokestop again. I don't really like it, but yeah, we can't use any of those. Wonderful news. I will then... I think... Doesn't really make any sense to Professor's research here if we're not going to switch things out. It doesn't matter. I do want a Prime Catcher. I think I would like to Prime Catcher this Monkey Dory up. I'll swap that in. Then I switch here and then apply a double turbo energy there. Professor's research to draw. Give me an Iron Valiant down there. Put a future booster energy on it. And then stick an Abra in the back line. Give me a 110 Shadow Cyclone. And with that, we take this energy and stick it on Iron Valiant. We can still use another 110 Shadow Cyclone next turn. Let's go for 4. Switch. Cool. Now, they can go for Roaring Moon EX. If they do, it's going to deal 200 damage to itself. But they could also Calamity Storm to make it deal 220. Really depends on whether or not they have the energy. I don't know if they do. I'm hoping that there isn't much that they can do to respond this turn, because if we can move a second... Okay, they're probably gonna... That buffs them to 290. Yeah, the ancient booster is a little hard for us to get around. Using Pokestop, discarding a bunch of cards. I used to have a really fun deck that was based on a... Back when VIP Pass was included in the game, you could have a deck that only ran 4 copies of... now I'm forgetting it. Durant. And its ability was just to clear the top 3 cards off the opponent's deck. And then you would fill the deck with ways of like filling up your entire back row with Durant and double turbo, and like getting all of them out of your prize cards and whatnot, because you collected 0 prize cards throughout the match. It was a really, really fun deck. One of the only mill strategies I've seen actually work in this. Yeah, they're searching for the energy they need. You're going to take out Hisuian Zoroark, which sucks. Do not like that. Discarding that Pokestop. Wild that they're this far ahead and they still get to use Flip the Script. That's why this new, like, of all the new cards, that one I feel like is the strongest just across the board. Yeah. Pretty simple choice. Could have avoided it by evolving earlier, but that means we wouldn't have had the ability to use Shadow Cyclone, which we really wanted. They take 2. We stick this Abra up here because their turn is over. Okay. A boss's orders is pretty nice here to pull up this thing, the Roaring Moon, that has a 2 on the retreat. We'll start with, I believe... Well, no, we need to boss if we want to do anything. So we'll start with an Abra. Send that in. Trigger Iron Valiant, Tachyon Bits. We're sticking the Tachyon Bits on this one. Then we will Painful Spoons. Choosing this Monkey Dory's damage and putting it there. Then we can stick an energy on here. And we could Arven, but I don't really want to. I think I would much rather boss up this thing and retreat into this so that we don't take any damage regardless, and then end our turn. This is a representation of one of the harder matchups. It's not an unwinnable matchup. There are a couple in the game where once you get to a certain point, you're not really doing a lot. But I feel like in this match, if we can get Laser Blade online, we'll be fine. The interesting thing about Laser Blade is that it says this Pokemon cannot attack next turn. See, he can't do anything in that scenario. This is why it's really important to have the ability to get Pokemon that lock you out of the primary zone, because he realized that we were just going to keep that thing there. Again, we're choosing to go first. Now, this is a pretty rough start. It's not a very good intro for us. But they only have 1. And it's Pidgey. Okay, I was going to say, if we drew well, maybe. We did not draw well. So let's Nest Ball here. You know, I might take a Transformative Start just to get it out of the deck. Never mind. We'll take an Iron Valiant. Stick an energy on it. Teleporter this away. Move this up and Tachyon Bits here. This is why I do wish there was a little bit more item support than there is at the moment. Like, I feel like I need to run Professor's Research and Arvin, but if I had the ability, like immediately they're going to fill up their entire bench. So there's not a lot we can do. In this matchup, we have to kill the Charmanders as fast as possible. They're running the good one. This one has 70 health. There's one that has 60 that some run. So we have to hit it a lot. Okay. In this scenario, we are going to get an Arvin. We're going to grab a Nest Ball. And... well, we only have one tool that we can grab. Then we Nest Ball into... in this scenario, we take Zoroark V. We put the Future Booster on here. We put the energy on here. We retreat into Zoroark V. And then we Void Return for a kill here. Swap into Iron Valiant. And put 20 damage counters on that one. Take 5 this time. In this matchup, if they get to Charizard, we lose. Pretty much immediately. Now, in this case, we're pretty far ahead. And they did not choose to move the Charmander up, which is kind of huge. They also... I've had matches where they... okay. So this is the issue. They immediately get this thing. Infernal Rain just lets them... yeah, search your deck for 3 energy attached to your Pokemon. The fact that its ability is 180 does 30 more for each prize card. Right now, that can't kill because it deals 210. But oh, that's pretty rough. Might be good. It was not. It was pretty bad. But we have to deal 110 to this before our attack kills it. And it usually just, like, if we have 2 prize cards, it wins. It hits us right now for 210. Just for 2 energy, which is wild. It's absolutely wild. Yep. Okay. I will Nest Ball into... you know what? Yeah, give me my other Iron Valiant. I'm gonna try to do the thing. Let's Arvin. Give me... we could try to lock, but it doesn't really work with what they have right now. Give me Future Booster and a Switch card. Stick this on here. I wish we could use the attack right now. It is not a smart idea. So stick that there. Then I will... I think I will first switch cart this up. We will target here. Heals that. And then we can retreat into this Iron Valiant. Tachyon bits again there. And then we can switch cart again to heal it for another 30 into this one. And then we will deal 30 damage to this. And we will swap into Abra so that he cannot take 2 prize cards this turn. And this is pretty much where we just concede. Sadly, we have no way out of that. And we're better off just going. You know, if they get the rare candy, it happens. But we just have to keep playing. If they didn't get the rare candy, we would have been able to play differently and just put all of our damage onto the back row Charmander. We could have Arvined into a force switch to kill off whichever one they put Charmeleon on. But if they get the rare candy, can't do anything. Hunky Dory's pretty much fine. Grab our Iron Valiant. In this case, we just stick this on here and end. The Buddy Buddy Poffin existing as a card right now, it's a little annoying. It's like VIP Pass. It's just a lot worse. VIP Pass was you can get 2 basics from your deck, but you can only use it on your first turn. So your whole deck was based around getting 2 VIP Pass. Double Turbo isn't bad here. Especially in this specific instance. Let's go for an Arvin. Grab ourselves a Nest Ball and a Future Booster. Nest Ball into Iron Valiant. Future Booster onto the one that we are charging up currently. Switch cart into this one. Stick 20 on that. And then retreat for free into Hisuian Zoroark. Stick the... We don't want to put the double turbo on it right now, so we'll put the jet energy on it right now so that it doesn't trigger, and then we will void return here. 30. Swap into this one. We have 1 switch cart and an Iono in hand, so we'll stick that there, put 40 damage counters on that. This is another one of those games where if they get a rare candy, we really have trouble keeping up. The Ralts into Gardevoir. Gardevoir just lets them charge up forever. That one, being a Curlia, means we're going to take that out probably next turn. Now, he can Adrena Brain. He's probably going to heal 30 off of Curlia and put him onto something else over here, which is definitely rough. We want to take this thing out as fast as we can, though. If we have to deal with the Gardevoir, we have to deal with the Gardevoir. I think they would not have done this if they didn't have Gardevoir in hand. So what I'm going to do is Iono. Oh, this is amazing. They're going to Ultra Ball right now. Probably discard those two, searching for Oh, they search for a Curlia so they can do another Curlia refinement. This is all fine. They may just be looking for it, so I might help them with this Iono. But we're able to double turbo Hisuian Zoroark, stick that onto here. Ooh, he did just go up to 130, which means we need to swap one time because we have to deal 20 more damage to it, which we can do. So we will switch card into this. Tachyon bits onto there. Heal up that damage that was put on there. Double turbo onto Zoroark. Iono. We both get a new hand of 6. This is a dead card right now, but it does help us early game. We'll play this Abra, and then we will retreat into Zoroark V. We will Shadow Cyclone for 110, which gets the KO. And then we will stick the Jet Energy onto... let me just clarify with Jet Energy. I don't know if it'll trigger. I think it's only when you play it from hand. Let's take 4. Future Booster, so we can stick that on there. Now we just need 1 energy, and this Iron Valiant is active. They're going to put up the healthy one. We can probably take this one over here out eventually. I don't know if they got their Gardevoir. High chance that they found a way to get their Gardevoir. They can draw 4 cards this turn. This card's hard to deal with. There's another Monkey Dory. Next turn, what we're going to do... We have a lot to think about here. Oh, no. Okay, I really wanted that Arven. Oof. That's rough. Arven allows us to search for our really good item card that allows us to switch and boss at the same time. We want to do that to get rid of this Fluttermane for sure. Psychic Embrace is pretty rough. He has 5 energies in his grave, so he can just put them all on here. Luckily, he can only deal 190 in this scenario. We're still putting 60 damage on here. But that means they get to heal 30 from it, put it onto here. Which is not good. We don't really have a good way of dealing with that. They take this out. $30 puts them at 280, so we need to switch 3 times, which means we need to find an Iron Valiant, switch 3 times, and hit it with a Laser Blade, which is entirely possible. We'll stick this energy here. We will play this Abra. We will... I feel like I want to use the switch now. Yeah, let's use this switch right now. Tachyon bits up to here. And then we can Professor's Research. We should draw a way out of this. Wonderful. That gives us a... Take a Nest Ball. Ooh, Painful Spoons almost isn't out, but Iron Valiant. We got a switch and a switch cart. So we will switch into this Iron Valiant. Tachyon bits here. And then we will switch cart into this Iron Valiant. Tachyon bits here. And use Laser Blade for the kill. We'll take 2 and 6. Pheasantipity is pretty nice. I don't know if they have a way to kill Iron Valiant right now unless they have another Gardevoir EX in hand. If they do, Ursaluna EX is pretty much our only answer. Because we have Ursaluna EX plus Jet Energy next turn. If they take out our Iron Valiant, we put in the Abras so that we can just shuffle them back into the deck and clear up our bench. And the only way they would lock us out would be by putting Fluttermane up front, but if they put up Fluttermane and they don't attack, then we kill it with Iron Valiant and we're in the same position as before. We primarily are scared of Gardevoir. Gardevoir is going to come in with 280, which means we'll need to switch 2 times and then play Ursaluna EX Jet Energy, hit it for 240. And in this scenario, we're in the best scenario for that, because if they take out Iron Valiant, then Pheasantipity gets 3 cards next turn, so we'll be drawing 4 cards on our turn. And then Ursaluna being at 260 instead of 220 makes it a lot harder for them to take out, because even with their Mukidori combo of healing them for 30 and bringing them back, or healing it for 30 and getting 190, we're only taking 220. So now, two Adrena Brains. We still are out of range with the Ursaluna EX combo, but it's a lot harder. We're gonna Ultra Ball, looking for a Gardevoir, evolve the Kirlia into Gardevoir, take out Iron Valiant. I think we're still fine. We got to get these Abras out of here because they're going to be free points. Yeah, she's gonna choose to just keep adding them, I believe. Oh, she's not. If we get Iono'd, we're like done. Oh, this is something I have not considered. They're going to heal for 60 anyway. And then they're at 300. And that would mean we would have to get 3 switches. Which, again, a possibility. We do have 3 Pokemon, but it depends on what Pheasantipity draws for us. We'd have to get 3 switches and then send the Ursaluna EX in for the kill. This seems pretty hard, genuinely. If we had a Hisuian Zoroark V already on the board, this would not be impossible in the slightest because we'd have the V-Star ability, but This is pretty scary. Definitely stick this Abra up here. It's going away. Before we activate the Abra, we're going to play this Pheasantipity EX and flip the script to draw 3 cards. Okay. Teleporter. Stick this Abra up here. Teleporter again. Stick this Iron Valiant up here. We have to hit this thing 3 times. There's the first one. Play this. Play this. The thing that sucks is that we have to jet energy onto this for the switch, I think. But let us switch cart into here. Tachyon bits right there. Maybe we just put the energy on here. Is that our only option? I think putting the energy on here is our only option. And then we Iono. We can Future Booster. Retreat. Into Ursaluna. I needed a Future Booster and a switch. And I did not get it. We will use Blood Moon here. Missed it by 20, and I think we lose because they deal 60 to this, and then 60 and 190, not enough. I will say 60 and 190 is not enough, so they need to do something else. And we're at 3, so 3 with Radiant Alakazam in hand. They're gonna retreat. Okay. Ooh, does this do it? This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if they have the Bravery Charm, she can put 4 energy on it this turn, which means they'll have 8 damage counters on them, which means they can do 160 damage. This is a good one for us. This is really coming down to the wire. Nothing on our board dies at the 160 mark. It does 20 for each damage counter. So that's 6 damage counters, 8 damage counters. It's 160 damage. Adrena Brain. Oh, they do have it. No. No. That hurts so bad. Oh boy. That's hard. That is hard to deal with. Okay, we're making 2 changes. 2 changes. 1, Ditto, you're gone. Can't have dead draws. 2, let's go back to the trainers. I need to take out Tulip, even though it might affect the late game a little bit. And I need to take out one Iono and two Arven. We are going to we're going to add 2 Heavy Ball and 3 Great Ball to the deck. This way, on our opening turn, we have as many options for getting things to switch as possible. Let's go to switch. Let's go to all. Prime Catcher is still the only other one. I really do miss having Escape Rope. And just to clarify, VIP Pass is not... Yeah, it's not in anymore. Okay. Let's go to Pokemon. I also just want to clarify here. Durant. Yeah, the Durant that I liked is not here anymore. Okay. So we'll go home. If I were to create a new deck, create a deck for the standard format, do we... If I were to play casual, playing casual mode would not affect your ranking. Complete quests. You can choose to play in standard or expanded format. To switch between the formats, click the badge. Okay. Let's play expanded. Now, this should have all of those. And create a new deck. Durant. All. There it is. For each of your Durant in play, discard the top of your opponent's deck. 4 of those. Those are the only Pokemon that we run. Genuinely. Then we play VIP Pass. You can only use this during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon. Put them onto your bench and shuffle your deck. Put those there. Durant has 90 HP, so we cannot use the other one. But let's go to owned. Alphabetical is not good. We want type. Play 4 of these. Cross Switcher was nice. Cross Switcher we used a lot. Put a Pokemon or basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. Night Stretcher. Put 3 of those in there. Nest Ball. 4 of those. For rescue carriers in case they get destroyed. And then we run 4 of these. Give me 4 trekking shoes. For escape ropes. For switch cart. In energy, we run 4 copies of Double Turbo. Reversal doesn't actually work. If I were to go to all. Yeah. Prism Star rule, you can have no more than one Prism Star card with the same name in your deck. If it would go into the discard. Well, this is actually an Ultra Beast. Okay. When you would attach this card from your hand to a Pokemon, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle. Capture energy is not the worst. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if this is attached to a Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX or EX, this card provides an energy type, every type of energy, but only 2 energy at a time. This is exactly what we want. Double colorless energy. Like, why is this not still in standard? I don't understand. Double turbo. Pretty much probably just want to run these 12. That can only be attached to a Rapid Strike. When this card is attached to a Stage 2 Pokemon, nope. Twin Energy. Oh, yeah. Then we need 5 more cards. So we'll go over here. We don't really love supporters in most cases, but we search and we say top. And then we go down to wherever she is. There's like the 3 sisters. What do they say? Top of your opponent's deck, and then discard any number of item cards you find there. So 4 of those, and Curse Shovel is also an option. I think top of what do they say? Top 5 cards of your cards of okay. Cards of your review the top cards. You can choose any number of basic Pokemon. You find those, find there, and put them onto your bench. Your Pokemon shuffles the other cards into their deck. Maybe 1 copy of. Yeah, maybe we take out 1 copy of that, and we put in 2 copies of her shovel. Cool. Let's edit this up. We'll just do owned. Sure. Because we're doing God's work. Cool. Million ants. Done. Set active and play. I don't know if anyone plays in the expanded format, actually. I would say that we probably do not want to go first. Probably want to attack as fast as possible. So this is a horrendous start. One, we want them to take mulligans. Or we want to take mulligans so that our opponent draws more cards. And two, we didn't draw very well. That's better. But because we didn't get our... Oh, I know what we messed up on. There's absolutely... There's an item card that we need to have in this that we just don't have. It's the one that finds 2 other item cards. We have Level Ball, which lets us put 1 out and then double turbo. But if we can't find a 3rd on this turn, then we're probably in a rough position. We have Rescue Carrier, so if both of them do go, then we get them, but oh, nice. Okay, Level Ball. All 3 of them are in our deck. Or all of them are in our deck, so that's good. We will Misfortune Sisters. Get rid of these 2 cards. And Devour. For those. Didn't get through too much. If they do take this out, they'll mill 2, and then we can play something and counter energy. We don't want to bring back use Rescue Carrier unless it's getting back 2 most of the time, because these are our only Pokemon, and that is our only way to get them back. I would love it if they keep drawing cards. I'm assuming they're going to go for a Regal stance here. V-Star. Pretty nice for us. Wonderful. That's a great ball. Find out our last Durant. Put it in play. Use a Misfortune Sisters. Wow, none valid. We'll stick a counter energy down here and Devour for the top 4. The way to think about this is we have to use Devour with a full board 5 more times. Each time they use Regal Stance, we have to use Devour 1 less time. Escape Rope will go into this Durant. Metal Blast is gone. Stick this one back up here. This specific breakpoint isn't all that bad. Let's use Misfortune Sisters. Ooh, that's nice. We got 2 off of that. 3 will bring them to 14. 4 would bring them to 12. So that would be better, but they're going to draw. So this is fine. We will just Devour here for 3. When they kill this Durant, we have Rescue Carrier to get it back. And we can put up the one with counter energy. Now, they do have... Oh, I don't think they have Stark Kronos this turn. They won't have it until the following turn. This is fine. Draw 3 cards. We don't ever have more than 3 in our bench. Avery would be really rough in this current meta. Metal Blast. Durant comes up at the top. Counter energy we'll place over here. Rescue Carrier we will activate to get back both of these Durant. Put them into play. And Devour the top 4. And we win next turn if they don't win. Which, to kill 4 90 health Pokemon all on the same turn seems pretty difficult to do. If anyone could do it, it would be the Dialga taking 2 turns. But if they take another turn, then they're down another card. They will start Kronos. The crazy thing is that they get another turn, but that means they draw another card. And if they want to win, they have to kill the Durant. If they kill this one and then I play this one, they still lose 2. Checking Shoes. I'd love to have this card. Give me back both of these Durant. And Devour. Wonderful. This is what I used to play. Now, the problem with playing this deck, you'll see, is that we get nothing in after match rewards, but it doesn't really matter. We still get the win, which is fun. Collect all here. I'm hoping that the next set that comes out is actually a little bit more enjoyable. Like this color vomit kind of style of card is really not my favorite at all. But I hope to open a lot of packs from this set because you never know how something's going to interact in the future. And if you open enough, you just start to get rewards back for having duplicate cards. So these small sets are wonderful for that. Let's go back to the decks. We have to make one edit to the trainers, which is that we need it to specifically list item and then go to all. There is. Yeah, boxed order. I mean, I guess it isn't necessary. I think I want Pokestop. I would be willing to take out one Night Stretcher and probably an Escape Rope. Wait, what's Secret Box? Discard 3 cards, search your deck for an item, tool, supporter, and stadium. Nah. Order pad isn't the worst. It's definitely not the worst, actually. But we'll just put 2 Pokestops in there. Lets us get some energy. Or not energy. Let's just get some card advantage on that first turn. Pretty much the entire deck is item cards. No, we never want to go first. We always want to start immediately with an attack if possible. Now this would normally be an amazing hand, an absolutely perfect hand. But we're probably going to have to mulligan. Oh, we only had to mulligan once. Okay, we got 2 Durant and a Battle VIP pass. Sadly, counter energy does not work immediately. Amazing Surge. Requires 3 different energy types. Whoa, whoa. This attack does 80 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Oh, that actually is really bad for us. I'm hoping we get a double turbo here. It's an escape rope. Let's battle VIP. We will nest ball for nothing. Just make sure that the thing, we have 2 of those, 2 of those, 3 of those. So there's one double turbo in there. There's one special in there. One sisters, one trekking shoes, a stretcher, and a shovel. Then I don't really want that to come out, but I guess I'll just stick this counter energy here and end turn. This is a place where we can be stopped pretty easily if we just don't have our energy cards. Counter energy might not be the greatest card to have. Because if we don't get an attack this turn. Okay, Nest Ball doesn't do anything. We'll just stick another counter energy on this and pass. It's not that we're doing nothing, but it's not that we're doing much of anything either. Once he takes one prize card, we're good. He just needs to take that first prize card. Okay. We're good now. Devour. Top 4. Gone. Night Stretcher. Getting that cargo back. One stringer. Hey, I want to read this. Put that card on top of it? Yeah, put that card on top of the deck. Go do that. That's a wonderful idea. What did he just do? If that card is a Pokemon that doesn't have a roll box, choose one of its attacks and use it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's Misfortune Sisters here. No valid cards? Dude. Okay. Let's Escape Rope. Stick this Durant back up here and Devour. Okay. So they're doing the same thing where they put Guzwell at the top. That is annoying because that counters the slowing down of the game that we're trying to do by using only basic Pokemon. Buddy pop. Yeah, take 2 out of the deck. It's not taking anything out of the deck. Yes, draw 7. Those are the Misfortune Sisters. We actually get 2 cards this time. That's great. And then Devour. Got 14 cards left now. This is a turn where it gets scary because if they have the energy, they can retreat into Slowking. Ooh, Iono is great here, actually. Probably better for him than for me, because I don't need these cards right now. Oh, what? What did he just do? He just won. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Insanity. Okay. I don't have any more quests to do, so I think that is all for today.